it's Tanya with Karma's a Stitch. It's been a minute, but before we took our great big long absence, I had mentioned that I got 3 different Halloween fall advents, and I started to do daily recordings, but if you haven't already heard, I am going through a divorce right now, and so my main focus has been on Anthony and Alex, and keeping stuff moving forward in the house and everything. And so we have been dealing with that, which has in turn left me not in a mental place to do videos every day for my October advents, which made me sad. And I had somebody ask me last week or the week before, what do you do to stay so positive through all of these trials going on in your life? And I didn't really have an answer at that point. I feel like I have remained pretty positive. And I got to talking to another friend and I said, I just drew a blank. And she's like, Tanya, I've asked you that question and you've answered that question for me. I don't know why. And I said that to her. I said, well, maybe you just worded it differently because when this person asked me, I really was at a loss. And she's like, well, there's 2 things that you have said that one of them really stuck with her. And so I'm going to share that with you. And then we're going to get into opening up one of my advents. And I'm just going to show you each day. And then we're going to talk maybe about some potential projects that I'm wanting to do or thinking about doing. So the 2 things that have kept me very positive through this whole ordeal, the first is my faith. I feel very solid in my faith, and part of that, I had someone tell me years ago, and he told me, he said, Tanya, just because I had asked him, I was like, how are you always in such a great mood? And I mean, it was almost irritating. I mean, he was always in a good mood. Like, the man did not ever have a bad day. And his response was something I kind of took to heart and I adopted. And it really does help me in a lot of different day-to-day circumstances. And what he said to me was, every single day, I am going to make sure that I am the best part of somebody's day. I don't know who that somebody is going to be. And so that's something that I really do try every day. It could be the person that I let in on the highway. They were merging in and I let them merge in. It could be the cashier that's ringing me up at the gas station and I put my phone down if I'm in the middle of a phone call and I acknowledge the person that is helping me, because I could be the best part of that person's day. You don't know. You don't know what everybody's going through. And I really do want to be the best part of somebody's day every day. So that was the answer that I had. But in the moment when that first person asked me, how do you stay so positive? My first response was, I knit. And that is such a huge stress reliever, but I have not had near the time, just with the mental capacity that it takes to, it's a difficult, divorce is a difficult thing. I'm okay with the divorce. My ex-partner is okay with the divorce. We're still living in the same house. The divorce was decided on the 3rd of June. So we've been in this situation for a bit. And it's tense, but I do try very hard to make sure I'm being kind and compassionate. And I want Alex to have a really good example of a woman to grow to be. I mean, she's a very strong young lady, and I really do want to lead by example for her. So with that, we are going to start with one of my big stress relievers, because I'm ready to start knitting on one of these Advents. Cinder is here. And so the first one that I'm going to share with you is by Trilogy Yarns. And the theme of this Advent is Hocus Pocus. So that was with the three witches, and Bette Midler was in there. What was I can't remember the other two ladies, but you know who I'm talking about. Sarah Jessica Parker, she was in there. Anyway, so that was the theme of this first Advent. With this Advent, I did get this canvas project bag that says Trilogy Yarns. And this Advent had 14 packages, individual minis, and then it has a main package for the end of the month. So we will be opening all of them during this video. And then we'll talk about some of the patterns that I'm thinking about. So day one, and this one is called It Reeks of Children. So these minis are 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. They're 20-gram minis. Make sure you can see the greens and the purples and the pinks. That's just gorgeous. So that was day number one. And I'm gonna put all of these in my canvas bag as we get them opened. So let me get that bag. Day number two. I think I might like opening them all at once. It was not intentional, but okay. This one is called Come We Fly. Got some purple in there. That'll be fun, you guys. So Trilogy Yarn was a vendor that was at the retreat that I went to this fall. She had these Advents already packaged, her Halloween Advents already packaged. I will also be getting her Christmas one. The theme for her Christmas one is Schitt's Creek. So this one is called A Witch Gets Her Powers on Her 16th Birthday. It's a beautiful gold. I always love spots of black. So these, that was number 3. Where is number 4? See if it's in here. One second. Gotta find it. Okay, so package number 4. It was stuck. It's already ripped because it was stuck on the box by this sticker. Oh, it wasn't my fault. Look, it's already been retaped. That wasn't me. Okay, so day number 4 is called It's the Sanderson Sisters. Oh, I love that teal. And there it is, that dark, dark, moody. It's kind of blue, maybe a little green. It's the Sanderson Sisters. Day number, ooh, sorry for the wiggle. Day number 5 called Farewell. Oh, do you remember that part? Farewell, mortal busboy. Do you remember that part of the movie? They had gotten on a bus, and the blonde witch, I want to say that was Sarah Jessica Parker, she got a little friendly with the bus driver. So that was day 5. Day 6 is called Another Year Begins Anew. It's almost got like a blue-gray undertone, but it's got some bright spots. Look at that. Some gray. So that was day 6. Day 7 is called Dead Man's Toe. I don't think Dead Man's Toe when I look at that. That was an ingredient that they needed for one of their potions. It's very pretty. I just don't think of a dead man's toe. Okay, day number 8. This one is called All Hallows Eve. And I do like how she's got these dark spots throughout. I do know lately I have been really drawn to the darker, moodier colors. I go through patches where sometimes I'll want something bright, but for the most part, dark and moody. So, number 9. This one's called Lock Up Your Children, Salem, We're Back. I do like how this one's got big patches of white, natural undyed yarn. I do like that with the contrasting dark right next to it. Very nice. Okay, day number 10. This one is called Birthday Ritual. It's a really nice purple on there. I think that one would have come from the second Hocus Pocus. That reference to a birthday ritual. So day number 11. And this one is called Don't Get Your Knickers in a Twist. Very nice. And day number 12. This one is called I Put a Spell on You. Ooh, I don't really like orange, but I do like how that bright one is popping out there. I do like that. It's just a little bit, but it's enough to get your attention. I like that a lot. I put a spell on you. And now you're mine. Okay, day 13. Sorry. Okay. This one is called A Night of Frolic. Doesn't that sound like fun? A Night of Frolic. And day 14. This is the last mini with this Advent. And it is called, oh, I put a spell on you again. But this is a different color. Clearly, the other one was blue or yellow with that splash of bright orange in there. So there is the final mini that I got with that Trilogy Yarn Advent. And so for the main big package here, I'm really sorry about the wrapping. I'm willing to bet this is a full skein of yarn. I am glad this was put in separately because this had, it has some chocolate in it, and the package has been hot. So we'll set that aside. I got a Trilogy Yarn measuring tape. And it looks like we got a candle. Ooh, a spooky candle. Let's see if I can. Oh, I'm not going to turn it on, but it's got a little candle in here to go in there. You got the ghosts and the bats and the skull crossing and the witch's hat and the bones. Oof, spiders, candy. So we've got that, and I'll put that back in the little bubble wrap. Make sure I don't break it. And then it looks like I got some stitch markers in a little satchel here. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Little scissors. Stitch marker. There's some really cute ones in here. I love crafting. And what is this? Is that a spool of yarn? And this one says, "Don't talk to me, I'm counting." And the last one is a cute little, oops, it's backwards, pumpkin. Those are super fun, you guys. So I got some pretty great little extras. Let's see what we got in here. Now, I really do love Trilogy Yarn's bases. I am working on a project right now in her yarn, and I just love it. So this one is called Hocus Pocus 2. Look at that. I mean, that green is so rich. I mean, that's just gorgeous. I just love these colors in here. Oh yeah, look at that green. Yeah, that's lovely. So, my main color. So, what I will be doing I'm going to find a project. I do have a few projects that I'm thinking about doing with these Advents. I know I want to do a Dathan sweater. I'll see if I can put a picture of that up here. Um, the Dathan sweater is something I really do want to do. I just think that looks amazing. I have had it pointed out to me that's going to be a lot of ends, Tanya. So I am not, I think what I'm going to end up doing is just taking, the other thing that was told to me was to do a lot of solids or tonals, not variegated or speckled skeins. So I want to make sure that maybe what I'll do is I'll just take, I don't know. I'm gonna figure out how the best way to get the number of minis that I need that are all the solid tonal colors. I may just pull from several different advents. Another project that I really think I want to do is called the Shortest Day Ever shawl. And that was recommended by one of you guys. Thank you, Ryan. And it's a scarf or a wrap. They have 2 different sizes in the pattern, and it looks very, very basic to knit. It's going to be time consuming. It's not going to be super interesting to do because I think it is just garter stitch. And I think you're just it's just knit round and round and round and round because it's knit in the round. And then when you get all the numbers of minis that you're going to be doing in there, you have a section where you're steeking it, and then those ends become fringe. So that's one I really think I want to do with one of my advents. Now, another one of you amazing people, Lorraine, made a recommendation for Helen Stewart's Knit Vent. Now, what that is you make the purchase on I made my purchase on Ravelry, and you get 6 patterns, and all 6 of the patterns are designed for an advent. And you get the first pattern on that one Thursday, and then a week later you get another pattern, and then week 3 you get 2 patterns. And so I'm wondering if maybe that'll be a hat and gloves, or mitts, or scarf and cowl and a hat, or if it's those. Week 3 has 2 patterns, and I'm wondering if that's going to be a combo of 2 matching accessories. And then weeks 4 and 5, you get additional advent patterns. So with that knit vent, the very first pattern that got released was a week and a half ago, and it's by Helen Stewart, and I'm pretty sure I'm getting her name right. I'm pretty sure I have it right here. I should just look. I shouldn't assume. Yes, Helen Stewart. So Helen Stewart was the designer last year. I don't even know that it was last year, but she put out the Habitation Throw. The Habitation Throw was a huge, it was a hit. So many people made that blanket, and it was gorgeous. And I made one last year with one of my advents. This year, the very first pattern is a circular blanket by Helen Stewart. It's called the Anthology Throw, and I'll put a picture in here of that as well. I printed the pattern out in black and white. So, sorry, I bumped you. With that advent, the pattern was designed for an advent. I'm not going to use an advent. I bought some yarn, Trilogy Yarn, who I just showed you her Halloween fall advent. She just did a trunk show at my local yarn shop, and I bought a fade. And I will talk about this project during my regular episode when I'm here with Anthony. I really just wanted to keep this one focused on advents. So I am going to figure out what project I want to do with this advent, and I will hopefully have made a decision, and I'll be able to put it up there at the end of this video. That's my hope anyway. We'll see. All right, you guys, I hope you are all doing amazing, and I'm so sorry for the absence. It will continue a little bit longer, but hopefully not too much longer, and I will be back with Anthony. All right, bye. Guys, so I ended my Advent video for the Trilogy Yarn Advent calendar that I had for the fall, saying, oh, I'll post pictures of what pattern I decide to do. So I started on that project that I was going to do, and it's called the Morrison Scarf. I don't have a copy of the pattern right here. Nope, I don't. But I have an FO to share. This was such a fun project, and it is written for minis, which was perfect for me. It uses US 5. I use my Chagu 16-inch circulars. I did cast on with DPNs because it's casted on with a cuff. Okay, so you have a cuff at each end. And then it's just a really long, glorious scarf. Okay, now I started this project. I was done within 6 days. It was such a good time. It was so fun. The rounds are short. The pattern is a free pattern. So if you're looking for an Advent project, the project was written, I'm gonna have to look it up because I do want to, I can't, I'm talking to my phone. I can't look it up. I will put it on the screen. The pattern is a free pattern on Ravelry, and it's written for 20-gram minis. I did do a couple of modifications. I ended up cutting a row out. I ended up cutting, essentially, I cut like 3 rows out, but it's the same row because you have to do a pattern 3 times. And there was 1 row in there that I eliminated those 3 times. And then I would go on to the next color. Anyway, if you look at the pattern, it'll be easy for you to figure out what I'm talking about. But what you did, and this is such a simple pattern, so you cast on your cuff, okay? And then you do an increase round, and then you have your base color, okay? And then you have these slip stitch color, whatever color you're using for your slip stitch. right? And you do that for however many times the pattern says. And then when you change color, the mini you were using for your slip stitches now becomes your background color, and you pick up your next mini, and that's now your new slip stitches. And then when you get to the next pattern, the color that you used for your slip stitches now becomes your background, and you pick up your next mini, and that's your slip stitches, and so on, all the way, all the way down. And it just gives it this fluid color change, and it was so enjoyable. I had so much fun with this pattern. I will be making another one. I'm not sure if I'll do another one with my advents or if I'll do another one with like a solid. I can tell you what I am thinking. There's a color that I got from Hedgehog Fiber that I absolutely love. Let's see if I can grab it quickly, because I've just been carrying it around with me because I love it so much. I just carry it around so I can look at it. Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah. So what I was thinking is if I did a solid black and then use this for the slip stitches throughout the whole thing. That was a thought that I had. So I will be doing this pattern again. It was amazing. It was absolutely fantastic. I will tell you that because it is a free pattern, the way the designer describes how to do your color changes, when I first read through it, I was like, that sounds so complicated. I'm not able to follow it. And I was like, I'm going to have to write this out. But then I was like, it's 2:30 in the morning. Maybe that's why I'm confused by this. So I read it again in the morning when I woke up, and I was still like, ooh, I don't know that I'm understanding. So I went into the knit shop and I asked the shop owner there, and she's like, yeah, let me create a spreadsheet. And so she did. She created a spreadsheet for me, which was absolutely amazing. And I was able to just mark things off as I did them. And it was perfect. Once you get into it and you understand the concept of what you're doing, it was so fun to do. Now, I'm putting this at the tail end of my Trilogy Advent, Fall Advent, which was the Hocus Pocus theme. And I have already showed you all the colors. This is what I made with it. I made this for Alex. The pattern called for 14 minis. And because I was doing this for Alex, I didn't want it quite so long. So I only used 11, which meant there were 3 colors she didn't want. And I asked her, okay, put these, here's all 14, please put them in the order. And these are the colors that she did not want included. So these were the 3 colors that we did not include in the Advent. This one is called Dead Man's Toe, and she said she didn't like the black spots in this one. Okay, so we didn't include these 3, again with the black spots. She just wasn't her jam. So this one was the A Witch Gets Her Powers on Her 16th Birthday. And this one is I Put a Spell on You. And this was the one I was like, oh my gosh, I don't normally like orange, but I really love that pop that's in there. So those are the 3 that I have left from the Trilogy Fall Advent. I did get Trilogy Yarn's Christmas Advent, and her theme for that was Schitt's Creek. So I'm super excited about that one. This was the main skein. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with this one still. And when I looked at what I ended up doing, I told you I ended up deleting or eliminating 1 row of each of the repeats. And when I did that, because I wasn't having enough yarn to complete the full repeat. I was running out. And so I eliminated that row, which is essentially 3 rows. And this is how much I had left out of a 20 gram mini. I weighed this, I think it was 3 grams. So Yeah, you guys, that was a really fun project. I do have 2 more fall advents, and I'm going to try to get those videos up together before I start Vlogmas, because I am going to do Vlogmas. I'm going to try really hard to do it daily. We'll see how it goes. All right, you guys, I hope you're all doing so great, and we'll see you soon. Bye.